these live pictures from here in Diepsloot, and this is where the Police Minister Bheki Cele has just arrived. You can see these visuals right here, and this is where he's going to visit the family of Elvis, who of course had passed away as a result of, you see here as well, the new National Police Commissioner, Fani Masimula, is just arriving here. He, of course, is going to be accompanied by General Bheki Cele, who is the police minister. So we'll see if we can't have a conversation with him a little bit. A very good afternoon to you, Police Commissioner. Are you able to talk to us? We see you here today. It's not the first time you're in Diepsloot. A very tough situation. Someone has now been killed.
Yes, we are aware that there is somebody that was killed last night. Police were patrolling and they came across a group of people who ran away. And after the group have ran away, they find that somebody has been injured in the process, has been killed. So that's how the situation is. But we have sufficient deployment in the area and we think the reinforcement are quite sufficient.
How is it sufficient then, Commissioner, if we're hearing the very incidences that the community was complaining about are still happening, they're still persisting in terms of this mob justice that we heard of?
Look, you can see the area is quite difficult to traverse the area, but there is sufficient deployment in this area. We have we promised vehicles, we have delivered vehicles, about 16 vehicles already in the area. And there is more than 120 police deployed in this area.
I was about to ask, have you met all those promises that were mentioned yesterday by the police minister in terms of the deployment that would happen? Because a lot of questions would be asked if we're seeing these deaths continuing.
Yes, death continuing, but all the commitments we made yesterday, they've been delivered. There are police in the area, more than 100 as I said. And we have delivered those vehicles. Fortunately, there should be still administrative work in terms of registering those vehicles and so on, but the vehicles have been delivered.
Police Commissioner, is there any assurance that you can give South Africans as well as foreign nationals? There seems to be a lot of tenseness between the two at the moment, and there are, I must say, valid reasons that people are giving for some of the discontent. I mean, no way justifying the death that has taken place, absolutely not. But can you assure South Africans as well as foreign nationals that the situation that we're seeing at the moment is simply out of control?
No, there is no situation out of control.
Someone has died, Police Commissioner. Is it not?
Yes, the fact that there is somebody who died does not mean the situation is out of control. We have deployment in this area, there are police, and we have made more than 24 arrests of illegal people, immigrants, undocumented people that are in the area. So it's not to say the situation is out of control. No, we are still managing the situation. There's basically is a manageable situation. It's not to say it's out of control.
How are we the very situation continue if it's not out of control?
As I said, it is difficult to travel within certain areas. And remember, the person that was killed, police were not phoned to come out. Police were patrolling. They came across this group of people. You see the area yourself. If somebody runs away, police couldn't find anybody, and you have seen the area. It's not easy to travel within this area. So it's quite very, very problematic. But police are deployed. They will walk the area. They will drive the area as far as they can drive. So,
but Commissioner,
yes.
This man was killed on the main road. So wouldn't you say if police were patrolling and were deployed, as you said, they would have seen this? He wasn't killed in the back road. He was killed on this main road right here.
I explained. I said a police nyala came across this group of people and they ran away into the houses or between the houses. The police were not called there. They were already there. That tells you police were on the road. And the 24 people arrested overnight were arrested by police.
Police Commissioner,
do you know who committed this particular crime aside from the 24?
Is anyone been arrested for this particular incident, the murder?
No. There is nobody arrested yet for this murder. We are still investigating. As I said, the people that were there, they ran away, and we are still pursuing them with the assistance of some informers, we will get to the suspect.
Police Commissioner, I would take it that you will also be back here with the police minister tomorrow to give back some word to the community. Who are you working with? Because this is not just a police matter. The issues that are being raised by the community, I guess, would involve your Department of Home Affairs and a host of other departments within government to try and get to a resolution of this. Are you sitting with any other stakeholders to find a long-lasting solution to the challenges here? Because it's not just a policing problem. Yes, there's issues of crime, but there's also issues of illegality that is taking place, which we can't rule out.
We do have the personnel from the Department of Home Affairs. They are deployed here with us. We also have personnel from the SARS, that is the South African Revenue Service. They are deployed in the area. So we are not alone. We do have our counterparts. There is also the provincial departments in terms of looking after the registration of shops and food safety and so on. So we do have an integrated approach to this problem.
Last one, sorry, go ahead.
You just came in, Commissioner, in the new role of the Police Commissioner. What will you be doing differently to tackle the issues that we're seeing, especially around undocumented foreign nationals and just the vigilantism that we're seeing? What will you be doing differently?
We will work with the Department of Home Affairs and make sure that those that do not have documents to be in South Africa, we take them through the processes so that they can be sent back home. So that's what we will be doing. And of course, as I said, remember, Department of Home Affairs do have some limited capacity. So, but within whatever capacities we have, we will work together and make sure that we take out those that are illegal in the country.
Final one from me, Police Commissioner. Perhaps this is a baptism of fire for you, if I can put it that way. Perhaps you might also come under criticism. Have you been able to identify what we believe is the other 7 South Africans who have been killed here in Diepsloot? Have you been able to find their families or their loved ones? Have you visited them? I'm sure those who are watching at home might criticize you and say you're first to run when there's foreign nationals who've been met with such an unfortunate circumstance.
Yesterday we were here with the Minister of Police. We visited the scenes of crime, we visited some families in this area. And we are aware that there are 4 people murdered. The 7th, we don't know where you get it from. Maybe you give us the record. Or at least murder, you will have a body. You show us those 7 bodies. We are aware of 4. And we visited those families together with the minister. We visited the crime scenes. So we are not visiting, discriminating against one another. We visit the scene of crime, not to say who is involved or who is the victim.
And how are you going to address, maybe final for me as well, the issue of the community now seeming to take charge against the undocumented foreign nationals? And it's an issue that we're seeing right around Gauteng and in other parts of the province.
For us to tackle that is to work together as government departments and make sure that we take out all the illegal or undocumented people that are in those specific communities. So it will be a continuous operation that we will carry on throughout Gauteng and make sure that we take out those illegal people.
Police Commissioner Fani Masimula speaking to us here as the media gathered in Diepsloot. I do understand now that he'll be accompanied with the Police Minister Bheki Cele. They're going to visit the scene where Elvis Nyati was killed, we understand pelted with stones. Here he is, the Police Minister. He's going to move towards this direction here now. This is where the crime scene is. Minister, hello.
Hi.
Will you be speaking to us afterwards?
Absolutely.
An unfortunate incident, isn't it? Eh? All right. All right, he'll speak to me afterwards, indicating that the police minister headed towards the crime scene here. And this is where the police minister visiting the crime scene. And this is where Elvis Nyati met his last moments, accompanied here by Fani Masimula, who is the police commissioner. Remember that the police minister was scheduled to be here only tomorrow to give back feedback to this community on the concerns that they raised, this now being an impromptu visit following the developments overnight. We also understand that in addition to the death with which we have been reporting on, one other person has also been injured and is currently in hospital. Perhaps we'll also be able to get an update from the police minister about what he managed to gather as well from the police commissioner, or rather the station commander here in Diepsloot. He's right in front of me here. That is the police commander here in Diepsloot, speaking to the new police commissioner, Fani Masimula. Quite a baptism of fire, if we must say, for him. Obviously, some reports indicating that he comes in as a police commissioner at a time when the trust of the community is very low in terms of the police. What he plans to do is certainly something that will be watched. But all right, let's take you live now to the police minister, General Bheki Cele. We will come just a little bit closer, and I think they're going to open up for a statement now. Minister, very good afternoon to you. You are in Diepsloot this afternoon. Unfortunate incidents. You were scheduled to be here only tomorrow, but you're back here today. I understand this is an impromptu visit, but you come here and someone has died.
Yes, as a state, as a government, we need to respond when things like this happen. So we had to come here, but also we had to check if things that we have committed ourselves on are being implemented before the day we come back here. Unfortunate thing happened here where we lost the life. The police, I'm sure they will pursue that and be able to find the culprits. We're having senior detectives here who has put quite a top team to pursue this. But not only this, and other cases that have taken place here at Diepsloot, so that we're able to reduce the criminality, especially the murders, because we are able to collect those. If we don't arrest these people, crime will continue. So that's why we're here.
Minister, I just want to touch on the promises you made yesterday. The police commissioner seems to suggest that all have been met, and in fact, those deployments, an additional 120 police members on the ground already. My question is then, how effective are they if these murders still continue and persist? You're telling me 16 vans are on the ground, but still the very issue that is plagued by Diepsloot is ongoing.
We did not make promises, we made commitments, and we are honoring those commitments. I'm sure station commander can take you to the station now and to show you those new cars. They are there. It's not just the words anymore. 63 members were on the ground last night. What maybe is not said very much is that they came late here. They did come. Captain Modiba was leading that POP. They came here. Unfortunate that it was on the late side. Well, I hear some people saying there were no police, but 24 people were arrested here last night. Now, I don't know who arrested them. If there were no police, I think we need to put the signage there. 24 arrested, no police, it doesn't tally. And those people that were arrested last night. Indeed, this is a place that, no doubt about it, is very difficult to police. I was here at Extension 1 yesterday. I got out of this tar road. I was moving on these other areas. Yesterday, the commitments we made, it was about 4, bringing those police, bringing those cars. Today, we're well established that people will be patrolling here, as the National Commission has given you the figure. Last night, there were 63. But all units that we have committed to bring, we have brought, including the cars, including the detectives. But yesterday, you remember, we were with the Premier here. Is one thing that we are raising. As South African police, we do have a problem when it comes to environmental design of the area. It does give us problems sometimes to police on those areas. But we're not going to wait for that to improve the situation, to have the numbers on the houses, to have the lights at night. We will be doing the best that we can do. Tomorrow we're having a meeting with the community. We are looking at the sustainability of the programs that we have put before. We didn't discuss that, and there was withdrawal maybe before the stabilization and all that. They will stay here. We'll agree with the community when we all decide that we can withdraw those people. But we will be doing together with the community. The councillors are here, 4 of them. Tomorrow we'll be meeting other people from other structures.
Minister, there's been a long-standing question about the resourcing of the police stations. And I want to speak specifically about Gauteng. I think there's 143 police stations in Gauteng. And it's a constant concern from communities about police visibility. I have no doubt that your men in blue and women would want to do their jobs, but communities simply feel that it's insufficient. What do you do about the long-standing problem of ensuring that these police stations are properly resourced and are able then to deal with the crimes that many of these communities are raising, not just only here in Diepsloot, but other areas where we've seen similar problems?
Well, this is my second life. It can go. This is my second life with the police. When I was here 2010, there were 195,000 police. Almost, if you give a round figure, that would have been 200,000. And we had the population of 49 million people. That's 2010. Today we have a population of 60 million, and we have gone back to 182,000. We've gone down. So you would expect these shortages. But thanks to the President and the new Minister of Finance, who have seen that they need to capacitate the police. As we speak, from the 1st of this month, 10,000 of the new recruits are all over our academies, including 3,000 of them that are being trained in Kimberley in the South African National Defence Force facility. So we have 10,000. Come December 15, they will all come there, and we'll add another 5,000, and continuing forward will increase. So besides that, last 2 years we could not recruit a single new blood in the police because of the COVID, but also the numbers have really dwindled. That's what we are correcting. The community very soon will be taken care of when we send them back to the stations.
Minister, there's a question right here. From the center. I just want to get, the community says wants to work with the police to remove foreign nationals in this community. What's your take on that? Number 2, what is the involvement of intelligence if the police can be present in an area and still such a crime happens? Why, and what is your assessment of what the intelligence of police has done so far in the past 48 hours?
Well, number 1, that communities they work with the police is constitutional. It is a constitutional obligation and legislated that will work with the communities. But that does not make communities the police officers. They still work as community, create the link up between the police and the community. We have legislated structures like CPF. There are other new structures that are coming, Neighborhood Watch and other structures that we'll work with. But we will not allow communities to take law in their hands, or even to accompany. If they give us information, this will go. If they point where to go, but police cannot be accompanied by individuals and be told by those individuals, do this and don't do that. It can't happen. We are legislated, we are in the Constitution. It's a job of the police what to do. 205, it explains, and nobody else has that obligation except the police. Working with the communities, indeed. Even now, if you read the SONA, even if you read the report of the expert appointed by the president about July, they are emphasizing on the point of working with the communities. So that one is given.
And the intelligence?
I'm answering you,
yes.
man.
Yes.
That is given. So we can't question working with the communities. The only thing, we all work and within our lanes. They work on the community lane, we work on the police lane. When it comes to intelligence, indeed, police were here last night, and they came late on this. We'll have to check what happened, why they delayed. But to say we did not respond to our commitments. That is not very correct. Indeed, this unfortunate thing happened that a person died here. The situation here did not even need intelligence, because it's obvious that the need presence of the police and the response of the police. Exactly what happened here, national commissions here, is one issue that we are looking at.
Thank you, colleagues. Thank you, Minister.
Right, the Minister of Police, Bheki Cele, visiting the crime scene here. And this is, of course, let's see if he's going to be in conversation with some of the community members here. And I had wind that perhaps he might visit the family of the deceased, and we'll see if that's going to happen at this particular time. And of course, a devastating moment for residents here at Diepsloot. You see quite a number of, we're expecting the Minister of Police to be back here again tomorrow. This is when he will give the official feedback to the community, in particular about the concerns that they had raised. Let's just go up here a little bit. We'll try to... Apologies, Police Commissioner, if we could just pass here. Thank you.
Okay, no, sanibona sonokuzama nje kwakhona sisebenze nani sizama ukuthi izinto zingabi nento eziyona, but sinithumelele manje imoto sigcwele amaphoyisa siwancrease and all that nani nisisize begebengu mani ibone nisilube indlela. Okay.
Minister, are you going to visit the family of the deceased? Are you going?
No, we're going. The police have visited
And how's the family doing? What are they saying? What are they telling you, Minister?
Who?
Well, the Minister...
As I say, Brigadier visited the family this morning.
All right.
Brigadier... That's the person who visited.
Thank you very much, the Police Minister, Bheki Cele.
The family that you visited this morning.
Yeah, they're still dealing with the situation so far.
And the family, how are they doing? What are they telling you?
Well, they're shocked. They still under shock and they cannot really say much. Thank you.
All right, that being the station commander of the Diepsloot police station. You'd see here the police minister just a few moments ago that was... all right, several of these members of the community here together with the police minister. So what are you going to tell the community tomorrow, Minister?
I'm harassed.
All right, the minister... Okay. All right, the minister in conversation with some of the community members here. The minister will be back again tomorrow. Yes, the minister will be back again here tomorrow to give feedback to these community members on some of the concerns it is that they have raised. Just a few moments ago, of course, him indicating is not going to visit the family of the deceased at this particular point, specifically because members of the South African Police Service have visited them, and then I understand that he's going to leave now, and in fact there are other police officers that are continuing with their investigation into what exactly has been taking place here in Diepsloot. No one has been arrested at this stage.
The police station, just a quick briefing. How are things now over the past 24 hours and what's the way forward?
No, things could be better, but not necessarily like they were yesterday. We managed to move around the community yesterday. We made a commitment to the community that will bring more cars yesterday. I'm sure you were there, you saw those cars coming. Yeah, there are 16 those cars. They just need to be branded to show that they belong to the station. They are permanently there in the station, those cars. And then we're increasing the numbers of the police. I usually don't brand around the numbers, but there are police that are here extra. We'll be having more extra police come the night. We have sent more detectives to deal with the cold cases. We want to believe that in spite of what happened here, which is very unfortunate that we had to lose life again, want to have been here, we believe that the situation will improve.
I mean, what were the shortcomings that could have been prevented before the occurrence of that event? And what are you going to do about that now going forward?
Well, the shortcoming of this area is the life of this area itself. As the police, we always raise the issue that we are suffering from environmental design as the police. For instance, if you say to me, somebody took your cell phone and ran to the house, where will you tell me where here? What house number, what street and all that? That's one area for the police that takes some time for them to respond. But I'm told that all these lights during night, they're not working. And it's environmental design. We were with the Premier yesterday, we raised that thing that finally the lives of the people here will have to improve. Not what you see on the storage and every other thing. But having said that, Chriselda asked this question now. Having said that, we will be speaking with the community tomorrow. The main discussion is the sustainability of the programs that we have put here. 2 years ago, I was here. We put the programs, but we did not talk about when to withdraw and under what conditions. But things that have happened, and we have found that the police had the shortcoming themselves as the police, will be looking on those matters.
Okay. Lastly, Minister, what are the preventive measures do you have in place to make sure that what is happening here in Diepsloot does not happen in Cosmo City, does not happen in Bromfisher, and in many other areas in Gauteng? What's the prevention method and measures do you have in place?
You really want me to tell you what our methodology is of doing things?
Is there a plan? That's what I'm trying to get.
Yes.
Are you sure that is not going to happen?
Well, we can't be sure. There is nobody that has the sure about any kind of plan. You just put things maximum, you satisfy yourself that you have done your best and you stick to the plan. We believe that out of that plan, life will be better.
Any arrest in relation to the last night's killing, Minister?
Not yet. Not yet regarding the last night. But as I've said, that this is a top detective of this province, has put the team, we're following the lead.
All right, thank you very much.
The Police Minister Bheki Cele, as he was obviously just leaving Diepsloot at this stage, of course following him in conversation with some of the community members here. We're just going to try and proceed this way. Tabiso, if you could come this way, please. And we do understand that you will be in some conversation with community members here. And of course...
Okay. No, that's what we are trying to do. We made our commitments. We are trying to honor those commitments. Zoo 16 imoto station man from ukuya ngayoyibona sikhona station namhlanje amaphoyisa tonight azoba ngaphezulu kwa 100 azobe khona inhlobo zonke zamaphoyisa amabharet POP. Okay, but nani nisize makhona nitholayo nisitshele nathi sisebenzisane. Yeah, okay, we're together. Thanks.
The police minister indicating there are 16 cars that have been deployed here to the Diepsloot to try and assess the situation here. I think now, if I am not mistaken, we're headed towards this direction. The minister did indicate that, all right, he's about to leave at this particular point, and he'll be back here again tomorrow for some of the feedback with the community, and him accompanied, of course, by the police commissioner, the new police commissioner, Fani Masimula, giving the community some assurance that indeed something is being done about the situation here in Diepsloot. 16 cars have been deployed here to Diepsloot, and we understand that overnight this is where you're going to have over 100 police officers that will be deployed here. That is the commitment treatment that has been given by the police minister to this particular community here. And certainly it remains to be seen if that's going to be able to quell the tensions here at this particular stage. I'm going to come here to one of these community members. Unfortunately, I'm not able to hear you in studio at this point. Let me see if I can't speak to one of the community members. Baba, uyajabula indaba yokuthi uminister uthi kuzawufika amaveni i16 namaphoyisa over 100 ukuzosiza ngendaba ye crime lana e Diepsloot.
Yeah, yona I never see jabulele because isikhathi esiningi siyasokola lapha emphakathini la ngobugebengu. Amaphoyisa bathi bazosilathela amaveni i16 sizobonga amaveni seyafikile khona lapha emphakathini because masingabona ngemahla never sijabule sithi siyafikile siyajabula thina lapha emphakathini sizobonga nje uminister akhuluma ngakhona hayi sizojabula mafikile amaveni akho.
Wena sisi ngokukhawuleza
nana ngariwa ngamanda ranga sezifenda dathusa so aberna bangori bo ofana msore ya mishimono ribo shaba no chaisa ngori mini zingayitenda nditshiko bya mishimono ndathutswa ngasikidi ndamudiloba zwana loriwo.
All right, thank you very much. Just some of the words. I'm looking for my colleague Mbali Mtetwa. Mbali, if I could bring you into this crossing as well. This is where I'm going to have to leave it for the program. And just very shortly, I'll speak to Mbali in just a second. This is one of the top police officers. Mbali, you'll be taking over here in Diepsloot over the next moment. We're going to say goodbye here from the SABC News team that was working in the morning. Mbali is going to take over into the evening, so you can be rest assured of coverage, continued coverage here in Diepsloot during the course of this afternoon. Mbali Mtetwa will have all of that for you.
Thank you very much, my colleagues there, Chriselda Lewis and Mbalenhle Mtetwa.